I've never bought a mouse so damn fast. Last month, Razer dropped their Deathadder V3 Pro, and it is exactly what I've wanted for so long. The Viper has long been one of my favorite mice to game with, and the most recent V2 Pro was great. I loved the switches, the texture, it glides really well, but I still prefer the shape of the Model D wireless. Long gaming sessions with it are a joy, and it stays so comfortable. If those two were to have a baby, this is what you would get. At $150 though, it's a hard sell, so with this video, I hope I can clear some things up and help you decide if that price is actually worth it. The Deathadder isn't a new mouse itself, as there's been plenty of iterations for years now, but the V3 Pro changed up the design quite a bit. The front isn't as flared out as it used to be and has a more straight profile in line with the rest of the mouse body. It's raised at the back but also on the left side, mostly emphasized above the left mouse click. Holding it in hand, you'll feel it largely up at your pointer finger, which I love because playing FPS games, I feel like I have a lot more control and it provides a nice spot to rest my thumb at the side. Obviously, this is a right-handed mouse, so the shape is out of the question if you want to play with your left. I have pretty average sized hands and find the mouse to fit very well and be most comfortable with a sort of hybrid claw/fingertip grip. It measures 128mm or 5 inches in length, 68mm or about 2.7 inches wide, then 44mm or about 1.7 inches tall. There's a ton of different features to look at between mice, but really the shape is the #1 factor that you should take into consideration when wanting to buy a mouse. This shape is definitely not for everyone. Most mice you see in the market are ambidextrous like the Superlight and have flatter shapes, where this is completely going away from that. If possible, I definitely recommend you give it a try in person first, because you may find the mouse to be too big or just not like the hump at the side. That said, as someone who got so used to the MX Master line from working with them, I loved being able to have a similar feel to my mouse when gaming. Throwing it on the scale, it weighs in at just over 63 grams, making it super lightweight and great for competitive gameplay. This is only slightly heavier than the 59-gram Viper and a bit lighter than the 69-gram Model D. Having mained the Viper heavily the last few months, I literally don't notice any difference between the two unless holding them side by side. In day-to-day use especially, I find that I don't really notice weight that much, as once you get used to a mouse, you really forget about it. There's a huge trend to have light mice, but I sometimes like having a bit more weight as I feel like I can have more precision in my aim. The construction overall here feels really solid and there's no creaking to the plastic. The body has the same texture from the Viper V2 Pro, which I've loved as it makes it super comfortable to hold. As you break it in over time, it becomes less grippy, but still very nice to have in hand. There's just 2 buttons at the side which are easy to access, but don't have any issues with accidental presses. Clicking on them, they sound pretty nice and feel crisp, though not as good as the actual mouse buttons. Speaking of, the optical switches found in the Viper are present here, which I think is a huge plus. They sound fantastic and offer tactile feedback that I love having in shooters. Sniping is one of my favorite things to do with this mouse, as the click is so satisfying and the ergo shape gives me that added control. These switches are rated for 90 million clicks and shouldn't have any issues with double clicking. The texture on both buttons makes gripping them easy, but also comfortable to rest your fingers on. Between the two is the scroll wheel, which I'm super glad is improved from the Viper. It doesn't have any rattle and feels extremely smooth. The texture feels nice and pressing it in makes for a solid click. Like we saw from the Viper, lighting has been completely stripped, so only the matte logo will be found at the back, but personally, I don't have any issue with this. Unfortunately, the wireless charging coils to use at the dock was also removed, so you'll need to use the USB-C port in order to charge. Battery life has been really solid though. I've only had to plug in probably 2 times, and each charge gives roughly 90 hours of life. The mouse can be used wired with its included cable, but most likely you'll use it over the 2.4 GHz receiver. I recommend using the extender dongle if possible, but even without, the connection has been super consistent. There's no noticeable latency, though my PC is only a few inches from the desk pad I play on. The Deathadder is rocking the same Focus Pro 30K sensor the Viper has, and it feels extremely responsive. It's capable of tracking at up to a 30,000 dpi, and with its 1000Hz polling rate, it feels slick on my high refresh rate monitor. Razer does sell a hyper polling dongle that actually bumps the polling rate up to 4000 Hz, though I haven't had a chance to try it myself. Unless you're super competitive though, I think for $30 on top of an already expensive mouse, it's probably not worth it. Something to note as well is that compared to an 1000Hz polling rate, this will drain the battery around 75% faster. Now on paper, this sensor is one of the best on the market. It has that crazy high 30,000 dpi, a 99.8% resolution accuracy, a 750 IPS tracking speed, and in-game, it does feel super responsive. But when you compare it to other gaming mice in real-life scenarios, it just isn't all that noticeable. The sensor really shouldn't be anything that you're making your decision based on. Turning it over and looking up the stock feet, I think they're really good, and swiping around on my high-star desk mat feels like butter. This is actually somewhere I think you will notice a difference compared to some other mice, because the glide, in my opinion, is really good. On the bottom, you'll also see the consolidated power and DPI button. Holding it for 3 seconds will power it on or off, and then pressing it once cycles the DPI stage that are set within Synapse. The LED in front of the scroll wheel will signify what stage you're on and also flash white when powering on or off. To initially set all of your DPI stages, polling rate, liftoff distance, etc., you'll have to go into the Synapse software, but afterwards all of the settings will be stored on the mouse and onboard memory. This means that Synapse won't have to be kept running, and if you were to switch systems, all of your calibrations would persist. Wrapping all that up, Razer's Deathadder V3 Pro is easily one of the best ergonomic gaming mice that you can pick up right now. It's brought together all the features I've loved from my two favorite mice, the Model D and Viper, and put it into a single mouse. This really is my dream mouse. It is going to be in my top picks for the foreseeable future. The shape though is subjective, and like I said, I highly recommend giving it a try in person first if that's possible, because it's unlike traditional gaming mice that some of you most likely have played with. If you already know though that you want a shape like this, it's the king. At 63 grams, it's ultra lightweight, making it a killer choice for competitive players. With its crisp optical switches, responsive sensor, and great stock feet, using this guy will keep you on top. Though at $150, I think it's a hard sell, as there still are many mice with a similar shape that are much cheaper, the one I have the most experience with being the Model D, which goes for $80. I personally think that it's only worth it if you're very competitive and want to have the best of the best in terms of latency, responsiveness, and weight. Otherwise, in day-to-day casual gameplay, you aren't going to actually notice any real difference from another mouse. I'm interested in what you guys think. Let me know whether or not you'll be picking up the Deathadder V3 Pro or have another mice in mind entirely. With that said though, I've been Cole and I appreciate you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, but until then, take care.